Okay, let's go over your problem set. Now again, let's just review that we know that K, the constant, is equal to y over x, or y divided by x. But if we rewrite that, the equation is y is equal to the constant times x. And we're going to be applying that in these situations. So write an equation that will model these real-world situations and the proportional relationship. There are 3 cans that store 9 tennis balls. So that means I have 9 tennis balls per 3 cans. And if I simplify that, 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3 balls per 1 can. So my constant is equal to 3. Now the equation here is y is equal to my constant times how many cans I have. Looking at the next one. 25 minutes can run 10 laps. Remember, usually time is on the bottom, or is usually my x value. So I can do 10 laps in 25 minutes, which is equal to 1 lap in 2.5 minutes. And it's okay that it's written that way. However, you could also write it another way. You could just simplify your fraction, and 10 laps is to 25 minutes. Both of those can be divided by 5, as 2 laps is to 5 minutes. So either of those can be K. K is equal to 1 over 2.5, or it's 2 over 5. They have the exact same value, just written a little bit differently. So my equation would be y is equal to 1 over 2.5 times x, or y is equal to 2/5 times x. And again, both of those are totally accurate, because if I were to simplify this, it would be 1 over 2.5. Jennifer is shopping with her mother. They pay $2 per pound for tomatoes. So $2 per pound. And that is my y over x, which is equal to 2, is my constant. And then my equation would be the y is equal to my constant times the number of pounds, or x. Let's move down to number 4. It costs $15 to send 3 packages. $15 to send 3 packages through a certain shipping company. Consider the number of packages per dollar. So it's telling me how to write my ratio. It wants packages per dollar. So with that being said, and you have to pay close attention because we often put the money on the top. So you need to look at your values here to know that my packages is my y value and my dollar is my x value. So if I have 3 packages and $15, that is equal to 1/5. Okay, so that means that I can ship 1 package per $5. So my constant is actually 1/5. So my equation becomes y equals 1/5 times x. So the number of packages. All right, so how are we there? Is that making sense? And that would be my equation. So let's keep moving. Now as we turn over, well, as we look at the bottom here, let's take a look at number 5. On average, Susan downloads 60 songs per month. So that's 60 per 1 month. So I've written down that Susan is currently doing 60 per 1 month. Okay, but we've got a new situation here using this graph. So I want to come over and take a look at what's happening in this graph. So in the graph, I'm seeing that when X is 5, which is the number of songs, and this is the cost, and that is my Y, it costs $4.50. When there's 12 songs, it costs $10.80. When there's 20 songs, it costs $18. And when there's 36 songs, it costs $40. So right now, I don't know, is this proportional? It's looking like it's proportional, but we have to test it. In order to test it, we have to set up our Y divided by X. So if I do 4.5 over 5, and let's put that in our calculator. It comes back at 0.9. And let's try the next one. And then we have 18 Y over X, 0.9, or 9/10. And of course, since we're talking about money here, it means that each song is costing, what does decimal 9 mean in money? 90 cents. Okay, so currently she has a constant rate of 90 cents. So K is equal to 0.9. Now don't remember because we're talking about total cost in dollars, do not put that in as 90. You have to make sure you list it as a decimal because it's 90 cents. So that's the scenario here. And the equation that would go with that is Y is equal to 9/10 times X, or 90 cents times X. So we have figured this part out, but what does that mean in relation to what she's currently already doing? So as we're looking at what she's already doing, she's already getting 60 songs per month. Is that correct? Okay. Now, if there is a flat fee of $58 per month, will that be a better buy than paying 90 cents for every song? Well, right now, we know that she paid $58 for the whole month. And that was for 60 songs. Is everybody good with that? If we look at this new way that the other company is doing, and we fill in our information in our equation of Y equals 0.9 or Y equals 9/10 times 60, because that's the number of songs, if you recall. And we look at this, we find out that Y is $54 for 60. So currently she's paying $58 for 60 songs. Yet 60 songs at 90 cents a piece is $54. So as long as she continues to pay to only follow that same pattern of 60, it would be actually cheaper. If she changes the number of songs and downloads more, then she may find the flat fee is better. So we're going to go with that 60, and that's where we currently are. Okay, let's move over on back. Okay, now that we're looking at number 6, I want you to pause your video. I want you to look back over your information and kind of refresh your memory as to the work that you did as we go over the answers for it. Okay, now we know that we are comparing the two shirts. If you look here, hopefully you have found that there is a constant rate of 8. We know that this graph is proportional because when we connect, my lines are not very good, I'm at the origin and it is a straight line. Therefore, value t is proportional. So looking at the graph, it is proportional. Okay. Then as we write we have to look back here. It says that there's a setup fee for each shirt. So when there is a setup fee, that means it's going to be a cost for the shirt plus a fee. And hopefully you are remembering that our equations follow y equals kx. There is no plus or minus added to that, so I cannot add a fee to this. Therefore, this cannot be proportional because it is not going to follow this. Okay? Now, as we look down, write an equation relating to the cost for the value t's. So in order for us to do that, we obviously have to come up with the constant. And the constant would be, as I showed here, $8 per one shirt. That's what it represents. And my constant is 8. So my equation becomes y equals k times x, or y equals 8x. Now what about the Printaromas? The only thing I'm thinking of here is, as we look at these problems, the setup fee is going to be the same. And as I'm looking, I'm seeing that if my shirts are $7, then my setup fee is $25. So for that, I'm looking at y is equal to 7, because it said that they were always fixed, times the number of shirts plus a $25 fee. And that fits both of these. So if we fill in the table, we can use this equation to find the remainder of the problems. Okay, so my setup fee is $25. If you need to purchase 90 shirts, write a proposal to your teacher indicating which company the team should use. Be sure to support your choice. Determine the number of shirts that you need for your team. So 90 shirts times $7 plus 25 setup fee is $655. Y equals 8 times 90 is $720. Therefore, it would be a better bargain and a better buy to use Printarama to purchase the shirts.